Hey guys, welcome to this video lecture series on the subject of polymer science and technology. I'm Harsh Panchal, Assistant Professor in Chemical Engineering Department of LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. In a previous video, we have continued our discussion on the topic of thermal stability, or we can say thermal degradation of the polymer, in which we have seen how the thermal stability of the different polymer can be affected by different means, in which we have already discussed the effect of the carbon-carbon bond. Then if your polymer is very much bulky, or it has very long amount, or it has very large amount of the functional group, then what will be effect on the stability? Then we have also discussed the effect of temperature on the stability, right? So these are the topics that we have discussed in the thermal stability of the polymer. If you have missed that video, you can find it in the I button over here, as this question is very important for the exam point of view. Now, having said that, let's just move to the second type of the degradation, and that is your mechanical degradation. As you can see here, a simple compound such as water, benzene, or even your NaOH cannot be easily broken up by just simply mean of the mechanical stress, either in the terms of stirring, agitation, or the rubbing. These simple molecules cannot be broken up, right? But certain molecules that are your polymer long chain can be affected by the mechanical stress. As you can see here on the screen, that polymer such as polystyrene dissolved in a solvent when subjected to vigorous stirring, or we can say agitation, or the beating, undergo the considerable amount of the molecular degradation due to mechanical stress. So your polymer such as polystyrene or any another kind of the polymer, that is your polyethylene, when it is mixed with the specific type of the solvent, and we apply some amount of the mechanical stress either in terms of the stirring or the beating process that we will discuss in the next chapter, so that your polymer will start to degrade. It will lose its molecular weight, and we will also observe reduction in the molecular weight of the polymer. So these kind of the things can be termed as the mechanical degradation, in which we supply external force in the form of the stirring or any another operation to degrade our polymer, right? So this kind of the degradation can be termed as the mechanical degradation when we apply mechanical stress on the polymer, right? So this is what the basic mean of the polymer degradation. Now let's understand this mechanical degradation of the polymer with the example of polyisoprene. As you can see here, that in polyisoprene the bond of CH2 bond CH2 linked between isoprene units is vulnerable. So it can be easily broken up, right? Here in this image you can see that this is the entire structure of your polyisoprene, which is being made up of the isoprene monomers like this. Here we have one isoprene, here we have another isoprene, here we have third isoprene, right? So all these isoprene monomeric unit combine together to form polyisoprene. The bond between these two CH2 is vulnerable to the breakage, right? So this bond can be easily broken, as you can see here. So when the polymer is subjected to mechanical stress in the form of milling, this polyisoprene can be easily broken up with this particular bond, right? Here you can see that. Let me just take a pen here. This particular bond will be easily broken up on the application of the mechanical stress in terms of milling, or we can say beating, right? So this polymer will now degrade or start to degrade from this particular points. We can say that this is the end degradation process, because here the end of the chain is start to degrade. So first initially this particular monomer will leave the structure, then later this monomer will leave the structure, and lastly we will have only monomers. So this kind of the degradation can be termed as the chain end degradation, in which the degradation starts from the end process. So on the application of the mechanical stress on the polymer start to degrade, and this termed as the mechanical degradation of the polymer. This mechanical stress can be applied on a polymer by different means. We can apply it by the milling process or by the beating process, or even applying simple stirring, or with the help of grinding or the extrusion. So these are all the unit processes that we will understand in the upcoming chapters, right? But for now, you can understand that these are the certain type of the unit operation that are being performed on the polymer in order to improve its properties. But sometimes if these operations are taking too much, then their polymers start to degrade, and they are applying their mechanical stress on the polymer, which ultimately lead to the mechanical degradation of the polymer. So here one more example of the mechanical stress is there. You can see here, when the polymer solution is being throttled through the small orifice under high pressure, the fragments of molecule can be occur and the polymer start to degrade. So when your polymer, or you can say a solution of the polymer, is being throttled from a small orifice at relatively higher pressure, the fragments of the polymer will be liberated. That means your small monomers will now liberated off from the long chain of the polymer. And this entire process can be termed as the mechanical degradation, as we are applying mechanical stress on the polymer solution and allowing it to pass through their orifice, right? As you can see here in the image that we have selected the two roll mill, right? These are the mills which are continuously rotating, and we are passing our polymer through it. So ultimately the polymer will face mechanical stress and it will degrade into the small pieces, and that pieces can be termed as the monomer, right? So this is the only a creative representation of the polymer degradation by mean of the mechanical stress. Now, research has been carried out in this particular field, and it has been found that the bigger molecules are affected much more than the smaller one during mechanical degradation. So the molecule with the larger molecular weight, or polymer with the larger molecular weight, are more affected or more prone towards this mechanical stress. That means the larger molecule will have larger amount of the mechanical degradation, while a small molecule have to face small mechanical degradation, which means larger the initial molecular weight, the greater the molecular weight drops due to your mechanical degradation. So your polymer will have the small molecular weight, then it has to face less mechanical degradation. But the larger molecular weight polymer has to undergo large amount of the mechanical degradation. Right? Now there are some exceptional cases, such as rubber do not degrade in the atmosphere of the nitrogen. Right? Rubber do not degrade. Simply if you place a rubber and provide a stirring in the atmosphere of the nitrogen, your rubber will do not degrade, because the nitrogen provides one kind of a shield that nullify the degradation process. But instead of that, imagine you are supplying or you are replacing atmosphere of nitrogen with oxygen or air, and still you are providing stirring or any another kind of the mechanical stress. Your rubber will instantly degrade, right, at very high speed. So significant amount of the degradation can be observed in the rubber in the presence of the oxygen or air, right? So there are some of the exceptional cases with the mechanical degradation as well. As you can see here in the screen that this rubber do not degrade in the atmosphere of the nitrogen at an ambient temperature. However, when the process is being repeated in the presence of oxygen or air at the same ambient temperature, the degradation is very quick and significant. So why this kind of a phenomena has been happening? You can see here that during the degradation, free radical is being formed. We have already understood in the previous lecture, whenever the degradation happens, it generates free radicals. So these free radicals are being produced at the end of the chain. In the inert atmosphere of the nitrogen, these radicals combine to form bigger molecules. So this free radical combined with each other in the presence of inert material such as nitrogen, hence which ultimately nullify the effect of the degradation. But same phenomena do not follow in the presence of oxygen or air. That's why in the presence of air or oxygen, your rubber start to degrade, right? So these are the all points that need to be discussed in the mechanical degradation process. Now let's focus on the second type of the degradation, and that is your oxidative degradation. As you can see here, this oxidative degradation sometimes lead to the hardening of the polymer or even decolorization and even the surface changes. So these are the different effects that have been taking place with the oxidative degradation process. The ease of oxidative degradation depends on the polymer structure. So this can be also asked in the MCQ exam that oxidative degradation depends on what parameter. So you have to write the properties, or you can say structure of the polymer. As you can see here that the unsaturated polymer, right? Unsaturated means the polymer which has double bond or the triple bonds. So the unsaturated polymer such as polyisoprene or the polybutadiene contains double bond and are easily attacked by the oxygen. So these are the some unsaturated compounds. These unsaturated compounds are being more attracted towards the oxygen atom, and this oxygen can be easily attacked on the double bond or even triple bond of these molecules. That's why these unsaturated compounds are generally observed to be followed in the oxidative degradation process. As you can see here in this image, this is the one slab which is being manufactured by the polybutadiene rubber, right? This polybutadiene is being more prone to the affected by the oxidative degradation, in which oxygen is attacked to this plastic sheet, to this block, and you can see here it is start degrading. So this is what do we mean by the oxidative degradation process. Now let's just understand the mechanism behind this oxidative degradation. As you can see here, the first step in the oxidation degradation is the generation of the free radical on the long chain of the polymer. As you can see here on the screen that this is the polymer, right, which is being represented by the P. So as this polymer will undergo the oxidative degradation, it will come in a contact with the oxygen or with the ozone. And that oxygen atom will attack on this polymer and it will form one free radical site. As you can see here, this P dot. This P dot represents the free radical site that is being generated due to oxidative degradation. This is the first step in the oxidative degradation process. Now you can see here, because of the biradical nature of the oxygen molecule, it adds at the free radical site and form peroxide radical on the polymer chain end. As you can see here, now this free radical is being again contacted with the oxygen, and this oxygen will be attacked on this free radical. Since it has bi free radical nature, so you will have one peroxide compound like this POO, and which has again one active site, right? So this peroxide compound will now mainly responsible for the degradation of the polymer, and this will happen at the end of the chain. Now as you can see here, the peroxide radical can now attack the neighborhood polymer. So as you can see here, this is the peroxide compound that we have generated in the previous slide. Now this peroxide compound will easily attack on the polymer and it will try to abstract hydrogen from the polymer. So hydrogen at the last chain or last compound will be abstracted by this free radical of the peroxide compound. As you can see here, this is our polymer and this is our peroxide compound. And hydrogen from the last compound of this polymer chain will be abstracted and attracted towards this point. So as you can see here, this has been formed POOH. This particular compound is being known as the hydroperoxide, which is being formed due to abstraction of the hydrogen from this polymer. And because of this, now this polymer has been generated one free radical like this, since it has lost its one bond in the form of hydrogen. So this is why we have represented one dot at here. So now your polymer is now having one free radical. So this process will continue to follow and your polymer will start to degrade with the oxidative degradation. And this is how oxidative degradation works. But what if this free radical attacks on the double bond of the oxygen instead of the abstracting hydrogen from this polymer? So you can see here this kind of the phenomena will happen. We have POO dot, that means your free radicals on the POO. And here in the polymer side we have double bond between two carbons. So as you can see here, this oxygen will now attack on this double bond and it will break the pi bond. As we have already understood in the previous lecture, it is easy to break pi bond instead of the sigma bond. And that's why this oxygen will now linked up with both of the carbon in an equal amount by simple bond. And this thing is being happened because of the oxygen has a biradical nature, or we can say it can form two bonds with the two different atoms. This is why this kind of the structure is being also possible with the oxidative degradation of the polymer. Now this hydroperoxide generated here can also be decomposed and it can also have several forms. As you can see here that this is the hydroperoxide compound which has generated PO dot plus OH dot. So it has decomposed into the two free radical sites. So similar like this, you can see here this P dot plus P double OH now forming different free radical site in form of PO dot plus POH. So now if too many of the free radical have been formed because of this oxidative degradation, their recombination can also be occurred, and that will lead to the chain termination step. As you can see here, in this particular step, we have two free radical sites that is being generated because of oxidative reduction, and hence it will lead to the formation of P double O P. As you can see here, we do not have any free radical site, which means this polymer is now terminated. It cannot further undergo the polymerization process. In similar way, you can see here that one polymer free radical and OH free radical combine together and form POH. This polymer also do not have any free radical, hence we can say that it is the termination step of the polymer and it cannot further undergo the polymerization process. So this was the topic that we have discussed in today's lecture. We have discussed this mechanical degradation and oxidative degradation. Now in the next video we will continue our oxidative degradation and we will see how this rubber can easily undergo the oxidative degradation process. Till then, keep watching, keep learning. Thank you.